So my name is Kurt Lawson. I'm the Secretary of West Bloomfield Youth Assistance. We'd like to welcome you here. This is our 27th year that we have done these award ceremonies, so we're super excited to be at the new middle school here in West Bloomfield. And if we could give the school officials that are here tonight a round of applause for allowing us to be here. And to help explain a little bit more about what West Bloomfield Youth Assistance is, I'd like to introduce our caseworker, Lisa Shields.
Thank you, Kurt. Oakland County Youth Assistance is a unique program that was created in 1953 with a mission to strengthen youth and families through community involvement. There are 26 youth assistance offices throughout Oakland County servicing each school district. West Bloomfield Youth Assistance provides casework and referral services for youth and families designed to prevent issues before they cause long-term impact. These services are at no cost to families, and through the efforts of our board of directors and volunteers, we also offer mentoring programs and enrichment scholarships to low-income families and partner with local resources to offer educational and mental health programs. And with that, I'd like to bring Kurt back up.
Is the microphone still working? So I actually got here at 4:30, and I checked this microphone 20 times, so I don't know what happened. Tonight, to celebrate these special students, we've invited some very special VIPs that are sitting behind me. So as I say your name and who you are, please stand up. First off, West Bloomfield Police Department Chief of Police, Michael Patton. Oakland County Clerk and the Register of Deeds, Lisa Brown. Oakland County Youth Assistance Supervisor, Nikki Keller. West Bloomfield Township Supervisor, Steve Kaplan. Our amazing Superintendent of West Bloomfield Schools, Dr. Danya Bassi. West Bloomfield Board of Education President, Stacy Brickman. West Bloomfield Board of Education Trustee, Deborah Evans. Executive Director of West Bloomfield Parks, Joe Ketchum. And West Bloomfield Township Clerk, Debbie Binder. I want to say a special thank you to our caseworker, Lisa Shields, our office and event coordinator, Connie Knoyton, and our finance manager, Emily Kuhn. Each of these individuals plays an integral role of everything that we do day to day. And I also want to thank our Youth Assistance Board that are all volunteers, and they show year after year their dedication to our mission. And now I will call Lisa Shields back up to introduce our special speaker tonight.
Mrs. James is a proud graduate of Bethune-Cookman University located in Daytona Beach, Florida. Her teaching career started in Miami-Dade County, where she taught grades 2 through 5. She also taught the Gifted and Talented program for 10 years. Mrs. James later moved into the international arena of education as a teacher at the American International School located in Kingston, Jamaica. There she had the opportunity to work with diplomatic students from a variety of countries. Most recently, she was the principal of Chico Elementary and now holds the very important position of Executive Director of Educational Equality and Inclusion for West Bloomfield School District. Please welcome Sonia James.
Good evening, everyone. But before I begin, we also have another special guest, Judge Sabin. All right. And thank you. As I look out at the crowd, and this is what, I think year 3 that I've had the pleasure of hosting or being the speaker here for the Youth Assistance Awards. And I'm always amazed at the quality and quantity of the things that our students are involved in. The amount of volunteer work, the things that you do. I am just so impressed, and I just think that I think about your age, and when I was your age, there was nothing I was thinking about when it comes to volunteering or any of those things. I was outside playing kickball and having fun looking for the next hopscotch game that I can get into. But I just want to say in advance, congratulations and thank you. Thank you for all that you have done. Thank you for the achievements that you have made this year. Thank you for just giving of yourself in being the best person that you can be. This evening, I'm going to start with a little book that I always like to read. And the book is entitled, The Year We Learned to Fly. And I think about this, when I think about the book and the title of Learning to Fly, and thinking about the achievements and accomplishments that you've made. There's some things that you did that you have soared into greater heights this school year. There's some things that you did, you took some risk, you gave of yourself, and you just begin to fly. So I thought it would be very befitting to talk about the year we learned to fly. That was the first year we learned to fly. That was the spring when the rain seemed like it would never stop, and the thunder boomed so hard, we weren't allowed to go outside. Use beautiful and brilliant minds of yours, my grandmother said. Lift your arms, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and believe in a thing. Somebody, somewhere, at some point, was just as bored as you are now. So my brother and I closed our eyes, and for a few moments, the first day, we weren't stuck in our apartments anymore. We were flying over the city we'd known for our whole lives. It suddenly appeared differently, exploding with every kind of flower we'd ever dreamed of growing. That was the summer we learned to fly. Fly into when my brother and I couldn't stop fussing with each other over whose turn it was to wash the windows, to feed the dog, to clean the kitchen. We fought and we frowned and we made silent promises to never speak to each other again. Could you imagine? My grandmother said, lift your arms, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and stop being so mean about everything. Somebody, somewhere, at some point, was just as mad as you are now. So we did. And as the soft wind took us out over the city and past the windows of kids who haven't yet learned to fly, my brother and I reached for each other's hand, flying and diving and laughing and leaving all of our mad so far behind. That was the autumn. Our rooms felt too big and lonely, with only us and them in the darkness coming on so fast. But while we hugged ourselves against the too quiet of it all, we remembered that we didn't have to be stuck anywhere anymore, because in your minds, you can dream and go as far as you'd like to go. And we always remember our grandmother would say, lift your arms, close your eyes, and remember, someone, somewhere, at some point, had to figure out that they could fly. That was the winter we moved away from the building and the block and the friends we'd always known, to a street where kids looked at us funny and didn't even answer when we asked them if you want to play. It's okay, I said to my brother. Somebody, somewhere, at some point, had to figure out that they'd be ready to play for a new thing coming their way. And the kids in the street would watch us. And for a long time, the kids on the grounds, they watched and they looked. And then one by one, they lift their arms and they close their eyes. And they too learned that they could fly. So here's what I'd like for you all to do. I'd like for you to lift your arms, close your eyes, and think about how you too can fly. Where are you going? And just think to all the kids, all the great things, and all the heights, and all the beautiful things that you can see. You can put your arms down. You can open your eyes. Give yourselves a great big hand for all the things that you've achieved this year. So to our elementary students that are moving from second grade to third grade, you're flying from lower L to upper L. For those of you who are in 5th grade going to 6th grade, you are flying from upper elementary to middle school. And those of you who are going from 8th grade to 9th grade, you are flying from middle school to high school. And those of you who are seniors, you're flying into reality. Where are my seniors? Where are the high school seniors? Put your hands up if you are a high school senior. Yes, you are flying into reality right now. And we expect great things because you've done and you've left a legacy and a footprint here for so many of our students to follow. So our seniors in high school, thank you for all the things that you have done, all the contributions you've made to our district, and just thank you for being great people. And to our elementary students, there's so many things that you have to look forward to. And I every year that I come, again, I just can't believe how proud I am of the work that you do. So continue to do great things. Continue to give of yourself. Continue to be the best person that you can be. And most importantly, continue to believe that you can always fly. Everyone, thank you. And I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Carol Finkelstein at this time. Again, students, I just look forward to seeing you soar to great heights and continuing to fly. Thank you.
He's making his way up here. Chief is a black lab. He was adopted by West Bloomfield Middle School assistant principal, Mrs. Graff, when he was 6 months old. Labrador retrievers are known for being good-natured, eager to please, and a little goofy. Chief completed more than 6 months of advanced training to prepare for Therapy Dogs International Certification Test. TDI testing is rigorous and designed to simulate a visit with a therapy dog at a facility under a variety of conditions. Before the test even begins, each dog must pass a brief temperament test. Next, the TDI test has 2 phases and includes 13 individual tests and additional exercises within each test. Chief and Mrs. Graff passed the test in December 2022 and are now a TDI certified therapy dog team. I am nominating Chief because his handler, Mrs. Graff, because they worked hard. Chief persevered and achieved his goal. Chief was bred to be a working dog, and he has truly found his purpose. Chief can now join Mrs. Graff at West Bloomfield Middle School on a regular basis to bring comfort and calm to our students and staff. For this reason and many more, I'm happy to recognize Chief and Lisa Graff with a Youth Recognition Award and something special from me. You gonna shake? Okay, there you go.
That was on purpose. Thank you, Carol, thank you.
In addition, we are joined tonight by 3 other Youth Assistance-sponsored therapy dogs and their trainers. These dogs, 2 of which are about to test for their TDI training. Please join me on the stage, Abby and her owner, Principal Jim Scrivo, and trainer Jay. Got to make the stop at all. Abby. We have a little work to do. There we go. Good job. Next is Cosmo and owner Brandy Wilson O'Connell and trainer Ashley. This is Cosmo. This is for Cosmo. Sit. Yeah, good Cosmo. And last but certainly not least, Esther Davidson and her dog Harley Davidson with trainer Melissa. Everybody gets a treat today. You're welcome. Go this way. Our next honoree this evening is Carolina Rubio. Please join me, Carolina. Carolina was a Link student this year. She was paired with a student with special needs and went above and beyond to make sure that her Link, along with other students in the classroom, were included during school and at after-school events. During school dances, Carolina would go out of her way to say hi to her Link, take pictures with her Link, and to make sure she was safe dancing in the middle of dance circles. Carolina has patience and instinct when working with students with special needs that not many students have, and that cannot be taught. She is patient, caring, and an all-around great student and a pleasure to have in class. Alyssa Losi from West Bloomfield School District nominated Carolina, and we are pleased to recognize her with a Youth Assistance Award this evening. Carolina, come shake hands. There you go. Gotta shake their hands.
We're learning.
Everybody's learning. Is Janelle Dodds here this evening? Yes. Janelle, come on up. Janelle Dodd's mom and grandparents instilled the value of giving in her. She has passed out food at soup kitchens, donated clothes, packed backpacks and boxes for homeless youth and adults, and volunteered at church. She is currently on the African American Awareness Club's executive as the community service chair. She organized a school-wide sock and coat drive with the Wayne Metro Community Service Action Agency earlier this year. They raised over 100 socks and 12 coats in a little over a month. Jennifer Cepetis from West Bloomfield High School nominated Janelle, and for these reasons and many more, we are pleased to recognize her with a Youth Assistance Award this evening. Congratulations. Is Kaya King here? Come on up. Where's Kaya? There she is. Come on up, Kaya. Kaya is a very active volunteer in her work with the church. She has volunteered for the past 2 years at YMCK Camp Timbers as a primary caretaker for kids 6 to 8 years old. She also has assisted the church's yearly winter donation drives of hats, mittens, gloves, and coats for underserved people. Additionally, she works with the younger kids and plays games during sermon time to allow parents to actively engage in the church sanctuary. Jennifer Cepetis from the high school also nominated Kaya, and for these reasons and many more, we are pleased to recognize you with a Youth Assistance Award this evening. At this time, it's my pleasure to invite Ms. Christy Law to the podium.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to work on not crying. Miss James' book already got me going, so where'd she go?
Right there.
After I talk about you. This is Ella, everyone. Ella Diaz is special in so many ways. Ella is empathetic and notices when someone is feeling lonely or looks like they need a buddy without being asked. She is patient and when working with others is open-minded and supports them with her listening and generosity. Ella is so hardworking and is always putting forth her best effort, but is also open to feedback and looks for ways to improve and grow. She is a lifelong learner. Ella is always asking questions to deepen her knowledge and understanding of the given lesson. She makes amazing connections to what we are currently learning and what we've learned previously, and volunteers often to make her thinking visible. Ella demonstrates the important skill of perseverance in her daily life. Whether it's on the soccer field, honing her skills, or playing an important role at home as the oldest child of five, she always pushes forward and through. Ella is an amazing leader. She's a role model for everyone around her. She accepts mistakes with grace and maturity. She's well respected by students and adults. Her classmates know they can come to her for help and look to her as an example. Ella is perky and smiley. She lights up a room by lifting others up. She has a great attitude and sense of humor. I don't know how else to say it, but Ella has that it factor. And everyone, my whole staff could be up here standing with me because she's just that special at filling people's hearts. Everyone who meets her agrees. She is truly one of a kind. For these reasons and many more, we would like to recognize Ella Diaz for the 2023 Youth Recognition Award. Okay, I almost made it without crying. And I am pleased to introduce Miss Claudia Rodgers from Scotch Elementary School.
Hello, my name is Claudia Rodgers. I'm the social worker at Scotch Elementary School, and I have the pleasure of first introducing Carlos Serrano. Carlos Serrano is the perfect example of positive growth and development. In Carlos's 2 years at Scotch Elementary School, he has exhibited academic, social, and behavioral growth. Carlos began his 3rd grade school year trying to find his niche. Making friends was a challenge, participating in group activities was difficult for him, and making positive choices required some adult support sometimes. Carlos participated and worked really hard in social groups. He worked really hard to find a good fit friend, and he really practiced those skills to become a great interactor with others. Carlos participated in class and began to engage in actions that were indicative of a good student. It was because of all of his hard work and practice that Carlos had a transformative 2nd semester in 3rd grade and continued to experience significant success in 4th grade. Carlos continues to surpass his academic goals and has developed lasting relationships with his 4th grade peers. This award is a celebration of all your hard work, Carlos. Please continue to make positive choices, be kind to others and yourself, and celebrate all of your hard work. I know that 5th grade will provide you with the opportunity to celebrate your success. Keep up the great work, friend. Oh, no. Mason Filio. Mason, you've done it, friend. You found your voice and have established yourself to be a leader in the 4th grade class. I'm astonished by your growth every time I see you in the hallway helping a classmate, raising your hand in the classroom, and choosing to do the right thing in Kids Club. Mason continues each day to arrive at school early, ready to learn, and committed to doing his best. Mason is a model student in his classroom. He treats his peers with kindness and respect and demands that others do the same for him. This year in particular, Mason has been observed taking risks. He is willing to play with different classmates. He's joined new peer groups, and he's answering a lot of questions in front of his peers. Most of all, Mason appears to be more confident and self-assured this school year. Mason, keep up the great work. Thea Rhodes. That's you. Thea Rhodes is never shy to express herself and share her opinion with others. You can often find her wearing her favorite gems and jewels and accompanied with a tiara, just not today, right, friend? No tiara, yeah. Okay, Thea cares about her teachers and wants classmates to treat them well. She often reminds them to do so. Thea works hard in the classroom. She wants to do her best, even if the task is frustrating or takes a long time. Thea has come out of her shell in her time at Scotch. She has tried a variety of after-school activities, made friends with peers outside of her classroom, and is even giving 5th grade camping trip a go this year. Thea is a pleasure to work with, and your reassuring pats, sweet hugs, and greetings and salutations are something that I look forward to every single day. Thea, you are on your way to middle school. May you continue to mature, socialize with your classmates, and share your opinions with others. I cannot wait to hear about all your success in the middle school. Wow. Yes. Are you going to give me a hug? Yeah? You want to take some hands with that? Yeah. Okay. You want to go this way? Okay. Alexander St. Louis. Alexander St. Louis arrived at Scotch Elementary School as a 3rd grader ready to learn. He was enthusiastic about school because he values the importance of education. Alexander worked hard and made new friends. He could always be counted on to answer questions and model what a student ready to learn looks like to his peers. This behavior continued into 4th grade. When Alexander's family was confronted with a health crisis, his commitment to doing well in school did not waver. His peer relationships were observed to be incredibly important to his school day as well. He was observed really getting to know his classmates and providing them with the opportunity to get to know him. When Alexander transitioned to the 5th grade, his commitment to doing well in school continued, while his peer relationships continued to blossom. While Alexander may not be the most outspoken student in the classroom, he is a quiet leader. I know that Alexander is going to take his leadership qualities with him to the middle school. I cannot wait to see how Alexander leads his peers as he moves through his academic career. Alexander, keep up the great work. You are an example to students and adults alike. Congratulations. You want to take some hands? Gabe Reamer. Gabe Reamer is an incredible kid. He is kind, he is hardworking and smart and talented. Gabe has blossomed into a more confident risk taker, trying new things and approaching his school day with a can-do attitude. While he has always been a leader at our school, he has really found his voice as a 5th grader, speaking up for himself and his classmates when it's necessary. Gabe is a daily model for his peers. He can always be counted on to do the right thing, even when it's hard or not cool. I've had an amazing opportunity to watch Gabe mature and grow as a learner. He has consistently achieved his academic goals and does not shy away from asking for assistance when he encounters a challenge. Gabe looks for opportunities to be kind, helpful, and lead. It has been an absolute pleasure getting to know you and working with you, Gabe. I know that your academic journey is paved with success. Best wishes to you in middle school. The sky's your limit. Friend. Congratulations. Excuse me. Ian Robles. Ian Robles is a physical representation of kindness. He is supportive, helpful, and always willing to take a risk. His energy is contagious, and his smile can light up a room. Ian cares about the well-being of his classmates and teachers and is attentive to the needs and feelings of others. Ian is a team player at school and on the ice, where he excels at hockey. He has worked incredibly hard to become a more confident reader and continues to excel academically. Ian is committed to helping others, as he is often observed checking on a classmate that's feeling sad, encouraging his peers to make the right choice, and leading by example. As a third grader, when children were able to receive their COVID vaccinations, do you remember this? Ian told his nervous friends that the shot was not that bad. He brought in his little vaccination swag bag to show the school. Do you remember the gifts? Sorry. And showed off his arm, proving that they too would be able to get vaccinated safely. He models appropriate social skills by playing games, telling jokes, and talking to others about shared areas of interest. Scotch Elementary School is lucky to have Ian. He has certainly left his mark on the hearts of students and staff. Congratulations, friend. Jaleel Morton. Jaleel Morton is an incredibly creative and polite kid. He is an accomplished artist, great dancer, and friend. Jaleel has worked particularly hard this school year. He is making friends, learning new skills, and meeting his academic goals. In the classroom, Jaleel has more openly embraced more challenging academic concepts. He has also taken risks outside of the classroom by playing club sports. Jaleel, my wish for you is that you continue to grow and mature. I know that your middle school experience will provide you with the new and exciting challenges and experience that will continue to shape you into a confident and successful young man. The world is yours for the taking. For all of these reasons and more, we would like to recognize all the students that I just shared for the 2023 Youth Recognition Awards. Up next, we have Lisa Pulliam, 4th grade teacher at Scotch Elementary School.
Good evening. I have the pleasure of recognizing 2 of my 4th grade students who have made my transition to this school district absolutely seamless. The first one is Zaya Gonzalez. Zaya is a very hard worker and comes to school each day with a smile on her face. Zaya has worked extremely hard this year growing her math and reading skills. She asks for help when she needs it and is always willing to do more practice so that she can feel solid in the concepts she is learning. Zaya completes her work with care, always checking it over when she is done with it. Zaya is a kind and caring individual that works well with all of her classmates. Her positive attitude is contagious, and she is a true joy to work with on a daily basis. She has blossomed in 4th grade, feeling more confident in her abilities. It is a true joy and honor to teach her each day. For these reasons and many more, we would like to recognize Zaya Gonzalez for the 2023 Youth Recognition Award. The other student that I have nominated tonight is Aaron Mitra. Aaron is such an incredible student. He comes to school ready to learn each day. He has a positive attitude and shares with his classmates each and every day. Aaron is kind and he's caring. He is always willing to help out and will do so even without being asked. I can always count on Aaron to follow directions and assist other students when they need help. Aaron is a role model in our classroom. He participates in whole class discussions and he works well with whomever he is paired with. Aaron speaks kindly to all, and he is such a wonderful student to have in class each day. For these reasons and many more, we would like to recognize Aaron Mitra for the 2023 Youth Recognition Award. I would now like to invite Blaine McDowell from West Bloomfield Middle School.
Good evening. Tonight I have the pleasure of presenting 2 Youth Assistance Awards to 2 amazing young men. The first one is Brendan Moran, West Bloomfield High School senior. And he was nominated by John Darline, our musical theater director. Brendan Moran is an incredible young man. In middle school, Brendan became involved with choir and musical theater. A lifelong athlete, he decided to try something different. He really flourished and remained with it for all 3 years. Most notably, Brendan took a great deal of time to learn about sound and engineering. He volunteered to set up and operate sound for nearly every concert for 3 years. When Brendan started high school, he really dove in. Not only did he maintain a 3.5 GPA, but remained a gifted athlete, earning 3 varsity letters in 3 different sports. Being on travel sports teams, when asked why he also played for the high school teams, he responded, "My loyalty to school comes first." Brendan continued to volunteer at the middle school for all 4 years of high school, giving back a great deal to his former school. Finally, during his senior year, Brendan decided his dream project would be something to benefit the school and developed an online virtual tour of the entire high school. Congratulations, Brendan, on a job well done. Of course. Thank you so much. My next outstanding nominee is Jamar Ray. Jamar Ray is an exceptional young man that has overcome academic challenges by hard work, determination, and extremely supportive grandparents and father. Mr. and Mrs. Ray, I had the pleasure of working with Jamar in an after-school tutoring group at West Bloomfield Middle School called ELO, Extended Learning Opportunity. Jamar came to tutoring faithfully twice a week. He always did the assigned reading outside of class, took the notes that were asked of him, and answered comprehension questions to monitor his own reading. The rap book that we read for quarter 2 was called Shape of Thunder. At one point in the book, the parents of the main character in the book made her participate in a fall art fair that she didn't really want to do. At that point, I stopped the students to ask if there had ever been a time in their life where their parents or grandparents had ever made them do something they didn't really want to do, but thought it would be good for them. In the end, it turned out better than they thought. Jamar looked right in my eyes and said, "Yeah, this." Well, from that point on, I knew Jamar was hooked on reading. He finished the book before the expected time and went on to read his quarter 3 rap book without any prompting from me. In addition to his hard work and tutoring, he was also really working hard with his lit support teacher, Mrs. Spayman. Mrs. Spayman and I could not wait for Jamar to take his NWA reading test. More excited than him, of course. We knew he had improved so much, but when the score came back, we were blown away. He moved up 22 points in reading and had improvement in math as well. Mrs. Spayman and I know that he will keep this momentum going with his academics. We are so proud of not only how much he has grown academically this year, but also as a person. Jamar is kind and respectful in all that he does. West Bloomfield High School, will be very blessed to have such a nice young man coming to them next year. We are very proud of Jamar. It is for all of these reasons and many more that I nominate Jamar Ray for this year's West Bloomfield Youth Assistance Award. At this time, I'd like to introduce Debbie Binder, West Bloomfield Township.
Okay, I'd like to call up Ashley Frankfurt from West Bloomfield High School. Ashley is an incredibly kind-hearted girl who strives to improve the lives of others. Ashley is especially interested in working with special needs individuals. Ashley started a group at West Bloomfield High School called Lakers for Love, whose goal is spreading kindness and helping others. Ashley spent her winter break making cards for patients at Henry Ford Hospital. Ashley still finds time to be a typical involved teenager as a member of the West Bloomfield High School varsity POMS team, as well as 4 competition dance classes. Ashley creates crafts to sell so she has money to support the people and groups she is looking to help. Ashley also organized a successful fundraiser at BB's Custard, which is a great place, by the way, to further support her efforts for others. Ashley works at the JCC day camps in the summer, another labor of love where she works directly with kids, creating a memorable summer for them. For these reasons and many more, including that Ashley gives the best bear hugs, we would like to recognize Ashley Frankfurt for the 2023 Youth Recognition Award. Okay, so we'll keep it in the family, and we're going to nominate Mason Frankfurt of West Bloomfield Middle School. Mason is an incredibly dedicated and responsible young man who values getting involved in his community. Mason was just awarded National Junior Honor Society for maintaining outstanding commitment and achievement to his education as well as community involvement. Mason found time to earn this award while spending many hours preparing for his bar mitzvah. Mason is always smiling and willing to share his time volunteering in his community. He helps with community service projects at his temple and gets involved in many activities at school. Mason was selected as one of the docents providing tours for people who attended the ribbon cutting of the new West Bloomfield Middle School. Mason is the kind of kid who rolls up his sleeves and gets involved wherever he can make a difference. For these reasons and many more, we would like to recognize Mason Frankfurt for the 2023 Youth Recognition Award. And at this time, I would like to call up Ms. Jennifer Graham, 4th grade teacher at Chico and coordinator of our United We Walk MLK Day celebration.
Good evening, everyone. I have the honor of introducing to you Mr. Tyler Eden, who is a 3rd grade student at Chico Elementary. Our school, Chico Elementary, suffered a great loss recently when we learned that one of our teachers died suddenly. As the school community processed this great loss, Tyler thought of this teacher and her family. He quickly suggested that we start a fund to collect donations to help support the deceased teacher's son, who will be attending college in the fall. To date, and it's changed since I've submitted this, he was responsible for helping us raise $5,000 to donate to the family. Tyler worked directly with his teacher daily and heard many stories about the teacher's son and his love for football. Tyler felt that he wanted to do all that he could to support her family. His dedication, commitment, and empathy for her family exemplified his caring heart and leadership skills. He truly is an amazing young role model whose selfless act and thoughtfulness did truly help lead others to random acts of kindness. We are extremely proud of you, Tyler. It's for these reasons and many more we would like to recognize you, Tyler, with the 2023 Youth Recognition Award. At this time, I would like to call up our amazing team, and I'll introduce them as they come up. You may come on up. I would like to introduce to you at this time Ms. Maya Eisner, Mr. Bradley Borderlove, Mariah Culver, Ms. Kina Ndukwe, and Ms. Chloe Norman. These amazing young people are being honored for some amazing work they've done outside of the classroom. I have the honor of serving as the adult chairperson for the 2023 United We Walk Committee, and I've had the honor to work side by side with these amazing young people. They're all high school students here at West Bloomfield High School. They have actually served as our student co-chairs for this year's event. They've displayed a unique ability to work and communicate with high-ranking members of the community and excel as leaders. They've sacrificed endless hours to help plan, organize, and promote our committee's events. They've attended community functions as the face of United We Walk, collaborating with other student co-chair members in committee meetings. Their responsibilities to continue to grow actually constantly prove that they are truly leaders now, and they inspire individuals to excel as well. Each one of these people are excellent role models to everyone that they encounter. They embody confidence, and they pass that feeling on with a feeling of strength and of the ability to work well with others. These attributes have been extremely valuable to our community and to our committee. It is for these reasons and many more, I would like to recognize every single one of you for the 2023 Youth Recognition Award. I would like to call to the stage at this time Miss Laniza Daniels from Wayne State University.
Hello. I have the pleasure of introducing or nominating Malaya Allen. Malaya is an amazing young woman who has displayed great perseverance and dedication to achieving her goals while navigating life's challenges. Malaya has always been a leader and prides herself on setting a positive example for her peers. She works, volunteers, swims competitively, and assists with caring of her younger sibling. She's always willing to go the extra mile to help a person in need. Malaya has shown impeccable resilience. Although diagnosed with epilepsy and oftentimes forced to miss school, she has maintained high honors and, more importantly, a positive attitude. Malaya is more than deserving of this award, and for these reasons and many more, I'd like to recognize Malaya for the 2023 Youth Recognition Award. And next, I'd like to introduce Carly Bellairs from West Bloomfield High School.
Hi, my name is Carly Bellairs, and I'm from Oakland Early College. And it's a pleasure to introduce Jacob Tompkins. Throughout Jake's 4 years at OEC, and he won't fly away from us quite yet as a senior because we go through 13th grade, so we get to have him next year. But we've seen tremendous growth, and it's been a pleasure to see him mature into the kind, caring student that he is. Jake has become a leader in and out of school and has always shown a positive attitude, always willing to help students and staff, and is a great representative for OEC. Recently, Jake was chosen to participate in a roundtable discussion on combating anti-Semitism. This roundtable discussion in Texas included the Psycho Gentleman of the United States, Douglas Emhoff. So whether he's leading a skateboarding lesson at work, singing karaoke in his econ class, or advocating for himself on a larger stage, Jake is an exceptional person, and OEC is really lucky to have him as a student. For these reasons and many more, we would like to recognize him for the 2023 Youth Recognition Award. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And next, I would like to call Jed Jones to the stage.
Just this a little bit, I think, here. Ms. James, I wanted to pick on you for a minute because if reality hasn't hit all these kids yet, I'm in for some trouble. Once reality hits me, I'm going to need a big rock to hide under here because, yeah, that's kind of scary if I have to live up to these expectations of these kids. Speaking of that, too, the next 4 individuals that I am nominating for the Youth Assistance Award, Jalen Jackson, Blake Nelson, Lexi Lafata, and Kari Jackson. These 4 individuals helped me out a huge deal with our unified basketball program at the high school. They helped build and create a culture and environment that is welcoming, entertaining, and above all, just help make our program a success. The time and the commitment that they provide to the program is tremendous. Going through 1v1, Blake Nelson is an individual who's going to play college football at Grand Valley State University. Jalen Jackson's working on developing his own business with his father. Lexi Lafata is going to take part as a figure skater at Adrian College, also with the state championship this year in figure skating. And then Kari Jackson is also signed or committed, got to talk him out of it a little bit, to play football for the Nittany Lions at Penn State. Yes, awesome commitments for these individuals, and the time that they take to take part in our unified basketball program is just outstanding, and I greatly appreciate them doing that all. These 4 individuals also helped provide the opportunity to play at Little Caesars Arena this year for our unified basketball program. If you don't know what unified basketball is, we have 2 general education students on the floor with 3 special education students. Usually they take part in between the JV and varsity basketball games at the high school, usually girls or boys. And these 4 individuals have stepped up and led our program through the last 4 years and even through some really difficult COVID times. Where it was kind of, hey, we have a game today, show up, and they were there at a drop of a hat for me. I couldn't appreciate them even more, and I don't even have any more words to encompass how much their time has meant to me. So these 4 individuals I'm nominating for the Youth Assistance Recognition Award. And at this time, I'm going to call Kurt Lawson up.
As we wrap it up, it's just my pleasure to introduce really the heart and soul of West Bloomfield Youth Assistance. Just a true leader, our president, Kelly Heyer.
Well, thank you, Deputy Chief. We appreciate that introduction and for you wrangling us today in this ceremony. As it comes to a close this evening, we want to thank you for taking the time to come out. It's really important for the kids to see the support system in their households, whether you're friends or family, to come out and support them. So thank you. We'd like to take a moment to give some kudos in the audience here. Miss Sonia James, our guest speaker tonight, returning for the 3rd year. Thank you. Also give recognition to our caseworker, Lisa Shields. Where'd Lisa go?
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, there you are.
I'm going to give you a hug. Thank you.
And then last but not least, Connie, who organized this entire ceremony. So thank you, Connie. We'd like to give you a shout out as well. Some more thank yous very quickly. Mark Best, the staff writer at C&G Newspaper, for the wonderful article, and the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Commission and Civic Center TV for the live broadcast tonight. Thank you. We have some refreshments in the back, so please stop there. And we want to thank the Meyer Store from Waterford and Costco of Commerce and Bush's Market for their contributions tonight. The dignitaries and school district personnel in the audience, thank you also for taking the time. We certainly appreciate that. And all the kids receive special certificates. So inside their folders, there is several certificates. We want to give a big thank you to Michael Bouchard of the Oakland County Sheriff's Department, Lisa Brown, the Oakland County Clerk Register of Deeds, David Coulter, Oakland County Executive, Robert Wittenberg, Oakland County Treasurer, David Woodward, Chair of Oakland County Board of Commissioners, Marsha Gershenson, Board Vice Chair, District number 11, Kristen Nelson, another County Commissioner, District number 10, Dr. Danya Bazzi, Superintendent, and Steve Kaplan of West Bloomfield Township. We appreciate you taking the time to prepare those certificates. Our nominators, and I know you're spread out a little bit. We cannot do this without you taking the time to really catch these kids being great and taking the time to sit down at the computer and submitting the nomination and then taking the time to come tonight. It's very special. Thank you. Okay, besides having refreshments, there's one task. Kids, we're going to take one group picture before you leave tonight, so don't move the stage. And then you can take a picture with your nominator outside. It's a professional picture with Bill Bertakas. And Bill's going to take your picture and print them out tonight, so you're leaving with a little special memento. So please take that time. And then last but not least, we couldn't do this without the Youth Assistance Board. We all volunteer to make this happen, and we have a fundraiser that's happening June 10th at Orchard Mall off of Orchard Lake Road, our food truck rally. That is one of our big fundraisers of the year. We hope you put it on your calendar. More information is on the postcards upon your exit, as well as on our website, westbloomfieldyouth.org, or wbyouth.org. So again, thank you for coming, and don't move. You guys stay up here, but thank you.